don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell you for an actual fact what it's going to cost you to become a drone pilot, because from one state to another in America and in different countries, the prices change for the actual license itself of becoming a drone pilot. And some states require something called 107 pilot's license. And I'm going to put a link in the description box that gives you a page of just about every piece of information that you would need to become a drone pilot. It includes the prices for different states, how long it takes. It takes between 4 and 6 weeks on average. The price to become a drone pilot is approximately somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 for the license itself, not including the price of the drone, not including extra batteries. And depending on the type of drone that you actually decide to purchase, which if you have questions, I'll answer your questions about the different prices for different drones, but I'll go over a few that I'm well aware of the prices for. To put it succinctly, it's an expensive hobby. One priority message, please listen to what I'm about to say to you. Do not make the assumption. You have to listen to me very carefully. Do not make the assumption when you go and watch drone videos where people are flying drones around, you need to understand that the Samsung Galaxy phone 21 or 21 Plus or 21 Ultra or the 22 or the 20 do not, I repeat, the Samsung Galaxy phones do not work with most drones. Any Android phone, 11 or 12, will not work on the MAVIC Air 2. It will not work on the MAVIC Air 2. The Android Galaxy phones will not work on the Galaxy 21. The Android 11 or 12 will not work on the Air 2S as in Sierra. The Android phone 11 or 12 will not work on the Mini 2. The Android 11 or 12 Galaxy 20, 21, and 22 phones will not work on the MAVIC Mini 2. And the Android Galaxy phones of 11 or 12 probably will not work on most drones. So hundreds of people are on the DJI, that's Delta Jericho India, the Delta Jericho India website. Hundreds of people worldwide went out and bought Android phones, the Galaxy 21, because they said, let me get the best phone possible. Went out and spent $1,400 for those phones, and there is no way to make the Android phones compatible with most DJI drones. Once the new updates are installed, the programs fail midair. the drones stop communicating with the phone. Or 90% of the time, you cannot get a connection between the phone and the drone. That's what happened to me. I'm telling you from experience. I have a Galaxy 21 phone. I bought a MAVIC Air 2S. I programmed the DJI, Delta Jericho India Fly, DJI Fly app into the phone, went in no problem. I programmed it from the DJI website, which was what was suggested. I did that correctly. I turned on the phone, and there was no love. No love at all. Those of you who fly know what no love means. No control. You've lost control of the aircraft. There was no communication with the drone. Nothing. The drone turns on. It cycles. The gimbal cycles. The lights cycle. But there's no communication to the phone. So you need to understand that option to use an Android phone is not on the table. I'm going to put my glasses on and read the comment. I see a couple of comments. The wait, no time for anybody. The wait that you don't need a drone license in America is 250 grams. So some drones are 249 grams. You don't need a license for those. However, if you put the extended long duration battery in the drone, the battery weighs 7 grams more than the normal flight mode battery, which brings it up to 256 grams. Believe it or not, the FAA, if they're monitoring your drone, and they can do that, they will know that you have the extended life battery in your drone, because in order to fly the drone, you're flying the drone from what they call satellites, but are really towers. And the towers are communicating with the drone to your phone, but the towers are also sending a signal to the FAA. And the intelligent batteries that you put in your drone also register as an intelligent battery that weighs 7 grams more than the average battery. Therefore, your drone is 256 grams. So it's illegal. Now, is it, do they actively seek after these things? I don't know. Sometimes they do, according to drone pilots, and sometimes they don't. But under 250 grams, you don't need a license. That's true. Thank you. XTZ Collie. No, I'm going to tell you that Flywood said that the drones don't work with the phones. But don't come on here and make it my fault. DJI should have solved any problem with any phone within a few days or weeks. Don't come on here and make me the bad guy, because that is your last chance. I am not a billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar company that builds drones and then doesn't advertise that they don't work with phones. So don't tell me I was warned by Flywood. Flywood said that they're not compatible. That's true. What you said is true. But don't come on and make it like I'm the one that didn't know. Who in the world? There are 1,000 people. This is your last comment, by the way. There are 1,000 people all on websites all over the world that bought Samsung phones that don't work. And every one of them believed that DJI should have fixed the problem because the problem has existed for 18 months. And to correct you, and then I'm going to delete you and your comment, to correct you, some drones work with the Android phones. And there's no way of knowing. Even some drones work with the Galaxy phone, depending on the subroutines and programs that they have in the phones. Some drones do work. Mine does not. I'm telling people, don't take the chance. I'm explaining to you it might work for a day, a week, a month, or an hour. But don't you come on here and you want to make me the bad guy? No, DJI is the bad guy. DJI has had 1.5 years to fix that problem, and they haven't done that. There are thousands of comments all over the world. People have bought Samsung Galaxy phones for $1,400, $1,500, and they're having the same problem. Some of their phones worked with the drones and then crashed an hour, a day, a week later. Some of them never worked, like mine. But don't come on here and say you were warned. You don't come on my channel and then ridicule me for something I have no control over. Your history, dude. You don't come on my channel and ridicule me for anything. This is my channel, not your channel. You can make a channel and put my name on it. I'll let you use my picture, and I'll give you permission right now to take excerpts off my video. I give you permission to use my footage, but you don't come on my channel anymore. You are history. Either you don't know how to speak English, or you want to be a smart guy and make me the bad guy. That's just not going to happen. Now you're going to be eliminated from the process. You're gone, dude. Okay, so XTZ, hide user on this channel. You don't even have a say-so anymore. You want to say, Flywoods had explained that you could have problems. Flywood did not say to me, the drones don't work with Android phones. He said there's problems with them. And I had already owned the phone for 1 year. You don't come on my channel and do that to me. That's not allowed. You don't like it? Use my entire video. I give you permission. Take excerpts from my video. I give you permission. Make your own videos saying that this was my fault. I give you permission. But you don't come on my channel anymore under that name. Have a nice day. Next comment. Thank you for correcting me. No time for anybody. I wasn't correcting you. I was just giving you what some people were trying to do workarounds with the extended intelligent batteries. And they somehow, okay, every piece of information that goes from the drone to your phone goes back and forth to all the various towers. But it's also, if you're anywhere near an airport, I guess they monitor it a little bit more. And they will also know if you have a drone pilot's license, because that goes into a database for the FAA. And then that database, the computers can cross-reference anything instantly. So they would know if you were flying an intelligent battery, because the battery is called an intelligent battery, because the battery also tells the phone how much power it has left in it, how many times the battery was charged, what from the day you put the battery in the phone, it tells you how many times the battery was charged and what is the condition of the battery and which battery it is, if it's battery 1, 2, 3, or 4. It tells you all that information. Now, I doubt very much that the FAA would actively send out a car because you had the extended life battery in it and you were near an airport. But they are cracking down on this stuff. So it's a great question. 250 grams or less. You don't need a license, but you really should study up on the rules. There's a lot of rules in America. And I'm going to give you the name of that, the link that I provided. It gives you the prices of, for instance, California, the price of a pilot's license is for a 107 drone license is $1,600. It's pretty much the same in most states. In the Philippines, they don't require a license until you get to 14 pounds. And the rules are much more lax here. But that's up to you whether you want to get a license. The title of the video is how much does it cost to actually set up a drone of your own. And so if you go through it by the numbers, a drone with this is one of the options. A drone with no avoidance, like the MAVIC Mini. It doesn't have as many sensors for obstacle avoidance as the Air 2S or the MAVIC 3. So the MAVIC Mini 2, which I bought and sent back because I didn't know about the sensors, the sensor arrays, didn't have vertical sensors. That drone was $650. I bought it, it came, I sent it back. They'll credit my credit card for that. The next drone that was highly recommended, and compared to the MAVIC 3, even though it's half the price, 1/3 of the price of the MAVIC 3, is the Air 2S. So that's the one I ended up purchasing. That's $1,100 plus an extra battery. That's $200 for the intelligent long life battery, plus $60 for the charger, plus $40 for the case, plus $50 for new extra propellers, plus the guards, which are about $10 for the guards, plus $10 for the floats. So the actual cost to set up a drone with downward sensors, upward sensors, forward sensors, and rear sensors, those drones run $1,000 to $1,200. So that's $1,000 to $1,200 plus your license. If you're going to get a license, that's another $1,500. So we're up to $2,700. And then you have to buy extra batteries, so that's another $300. So that's $3,000, because you're not going to just do it with one extra battery. You're going to need 3 or 4 batteries. So you're into it for $3,000 from day one. Plus, you need an iPhone, which is $1,000. The i13 is the one. So digressing back to that fool's comment, saying I was one. No one. Flywoods told me the day I said I was going to buy a drone that they're having troubles communicating with the drone. That's true. But that's not all drones, number one. Number two, it's not all drones with the Samsung phone. Samsung phone works just fine for some drones. But it doesn't work at all with the Air 2 or the Air 2S or the MAVIC Mini. Well, that's what I bought. But I bought the phone a year ago, so it's not my fault that I bought the phone a year ago. However, on DJI's website, it tells you that the fix for the phone is to buy an iPhone. That is technical support from DJI itself, the company, the corporation, the multi-million-dollar corporation that never was able to fix the Android 11 and 12 problem communicating with their drones. So if we're talking about a multi-million-dollar company with thousands of people that work for technical support, building the drones, sales, operations to return for parts, and it's my fault that they didn't fix the problem? No, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's not my fault. I'm not a multi-million-dollar company. I don't know every piece of information about every drone, and neither does anybody else. And that's the purpose of this video. People think they're going to go out and buy a drone and then just run the drone. You're not going to do that. Now, including the costs that I just went over for about $3,000 if you need a pilot's license, because the 249 grams that No Time for Anybody mentioned, those small drones, mini drones, they don't have six-way optical. They don't have six-way optical avoidance sensors. They have front, bottom, and back. They don't have top. They don't have sides. When you start to get into six-way sensors or omnidirectional, well, those drones go over 250 grams. And those drones cost upwards of $2,000. When you go omnidirectional, which is different than six-way directional, omnidirectional is above, below, front, back, and then left and right side, port and starboard sides. Those drones cost $3,000. So it depends. If you buy a drone that doesn't have any kind of obstacle avoidance and you pay $600 for it and you crash it, well, you're out $600. But if you buy a drone for $2,500 that has omnidirectional avoidance, it might not crash. The way it works is it stops in front of the object and well, I have to talk about the smart controller now. This is another snag that this guy that made me the bad guy. You're not making me the bad guy on my channel, dude. If I come on and talk about a topic, it's because I know more about it than you, and I don't need you sassing me on my channel. It's not complicated. If you have omnidirectional and you have a phone, here's the phone. On your phone, it'll have a pop-up window on your phone, and it'll say, when the drone is in jeopardy of hitting a tree, that you sent the drone out on a mission, and the drone comes upon a tree, and it doesn't have obstacle avoidance, it's going to smash into the tree. That's what's going to happen. So you lose possibly the drone. You'll be able to find the drone because most of them have GPS coordinate tracking. They can find the drone. It'll beep, it'll flash lights, and it'll give you a GPS coordinate. But you smashed up your drone. Maybe you broke the props. Maybe you broke a wing off the drone. Who knows? Maybe nothing happened. Maybe it just fell down to the ground. When you get the better drones with obstacle avoidance, it gives you an option on the screen that said stop. So that the drone comes up to the tree and stops. Then you're looking at the tree. The drone is looking at the tree. You're looking at the tree through the lens of the camera on the drone. So you are sitting there looking at the tree, with the lens of the camera of the drone. And I'll show you what it does. So this is the MAVIC Air 2S, as in Superman. The way you open this up is you open up the top wings first. Then you collapse the bottom wings down towards the ground and let them pop out. So here's your drone, and here's the tree. Here's a tree. And the drone is coming up to the tree, and it's about 30 feet away. And the drone sees the tree. It stops. That's an option that you have on your phone. Stop. Now, what you can do is, if you have the option chose stop, when an obstacle is in front of your drone, stop. Now you can say, you can point the camera up or point the camera left or right, point the drone port or starboard, and say, okay, I'm going to go over the tree. So you go up with the drone and over the tree, and you continue on your mission, whatever that is. Or you can have an option on the phone that says auto avoidance. So the drone will come up to the tree, it'll slow down or stop. The drone will send out radio waves or frequencies to find out which is the quickest way around the tree or over the tree. It'll send out like a radar, left, right, or above, and then the drone will auto choose which way to go around the tree. Now, those drones, like I said, those are over $1,000, and the MAVIC 3 is the omnidirectional, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now, there's another way to control the drone. That DJI is another snag in the DJI system. But first, I want to read the comments. And then if there's an intelligent question, I'll answer the intelligent question. I'm not allowing silliness on my channel. Okay, so Ant Farmer, no time for anybody. DJI doesn't even make a Maverick model. No, they make a MAVIC, MAVIC. I think he just spelled it wrong. Ant Farmer, you're this close to being removed from my channel. Flying Circus, DJI sells a Maverick Pro model on Amazon. Well, then that's new to me. Thank you. A Maverick or a Maverick? Okay, MAVIC. I'm thinking MAVIC. Okay. I don't know. Why don't we look that up? Why don't we look that up? DJI sells a Maverick Pro. Could be the Maverick Pro. Okay, we'll check that out. No, that guy came on saying, look, Ant Farmer, don't do this to me because it doesn't work with me, okay? It's not complicated. The guy made me the bad guy for not knowing what DJI does with their corporation. It's not my job to know what DJI is. It's DJI's job to make the phone work with their drones, or at least notify people. Put it on the box. This drone, put it in the description of the drone. This drone does not work with Android 11 or 12. Is that on the box? No. Does it say it in the description on Lazada's website? No. Does it say it in the description anywhere on the internet? No. You have to buy the drone and then find out that it doesn't work. So because Flywoods told me that some drones don't work with the thing, he didn't say which ones. He didn't say the MAVIC Air. And don't come on my channel again and correct me. I already explained this in the beginning. You're not going to do this to me. Not going to happen again. That's for sure, Ant Farmer. You've been a troll on everybody's channel for years now. I know exactly who you are. You want to come on my channel? You want to degrade my information? Put it on your channel, Ant Farmer. Go away. That's my best suggestion. Okay, I see MAVIC 2. I see MAVIC 2S. I don't see Maverick. I see MAVIC Pro 2. I see MAVIC Pro. I see MAVIC Pro DJI. I see MAVIC, MAVIC, product information. I do not see Maverick. Maverick is something else altogether. So I don't believe they have a Maverick phone. Ant Farmer, one more, gone. I don't care whether you watch my channel or not. Life and Times. Does DJI even have a MAVIC model? Okay, I just explained that information. I flew in Palawan by the airport. The app asked airport for permission. I had to give my phone number to get authorization. They text me and entered the code. That's right. So no time, no time for anybody knows that what I said in the beginning, that the drone talks to the phone talks to the towers talk to the phone, but the towers talk to the airport FAA communication. Thank you. Thank you for that piece of information. No time for anybody. MAVIC says no time for anybody. Yeah, I've never heard of Maverick with an R at all. MAVIC Air 2 is what I flew in Palawan. So no time has the MAVIC Air 2, which is this drone here, exactly the same, except for these two sensors on top. This is vertical avoidance. The MAVIC 2 has forward avoidance, rear avoidance, and bottom avoidance. The MAVIC Air 2S has two more sensors that do vertical avoidance. So he's got a nice drone. And I also ordered that drone, but then I knew about vertical avoidance. Now I got to talk about two more things before I go through too many comments. But I'm going to finish with no time for anybody's comments because he has a drone and he's trying to give you people information. I never said Maverick. I said MAVIC. Goodbye, life and times. Maybe you heard Maverick. Maybe I even said it, but they don't have a Maverick. They have a MAVIC. Look, dude, the level of intelligence is too high for you here. Best you go away. Maverick Pro 2. Maverick Pro 2 says Flying Circus again. Let's look it up. Flying Circus is pretty smart. So let's go. I looked it up. I don't see it. Flying Circus, but let's take a look. Maverick Pro 2. Google search. And nothing. There is none. Google it. It's MAVIC, MAVIC. There is no Maverick with an R. None. Zero. Okay. And that's why I wouldn't say it, because I've never seen the word Maverick as a drone. Thanks, Flying Circus. Okay, no time for any spelling mistake. Could be a hearing mistake. Thank you. Sound is breaking up. Could be. Thank you. Okay, now, so I put in the okay, so now there's two more things I want to talk about before you buy a drone. You have $1,500 in drone batteries, extra props, battery charger, and a case. You have $1,500 for the license if you need that. And most drones over 250 grams with the obstacle avoidance, most drones with six-way obstacle avoidance or omnidirectional obstacle avoidance weigh over 250 grams. That's 3,000. Now you have to buy a phone that works with the drone. And the new drones don't work with the Samsung, which we went over. So you got to buy a $1,000 phone. That's $4,000. Now there's one more option. This is another snag. And I'm being nice to DJI because really, if there was a way to bring them to the Better Business Bureau for their lack of due diligence on behalf of their manufacturing and their communication problems, they should be brought to the Better Business Bureau and pay a maximum massive fine for false advertisement. Because nowhere does it say on the box that a $2,000 drone or the Fly More combo for $1,800, nowhere on the box does it say this drone probably won't work with an Android 11 or 12. Nowhere does it say that. So now you bought the drone Now you have to go out, and on DJI's website, it says the solution, if your Android doesn't work, go out and buy an iPhone. That's their fix. That's the official wording of the official problem-solving team for DJI. Go buy an iPhone. Now, there's one more option, and this is even worse. This is even a bigger foul up on DJI. This is even a more massive fraud on behalf of DJI. They have something called a smart controller. I'll show you what a controller looks like, and then I'll tell you what a smart controller looks like. So this is a controller. You put your phone in here, your iPhone, because Androids don't work with most DJI phones. Even the Android phones to this Ant Farmer guy and the other guy, CDX, whatever his name was, even when the Android phones worked with the drones 2 years ago, when the phone updates to Android 11, it stops working. The other option besides an iPhone is to buy something that looks like this, but built into this unit is a phone screen. So it kind of looks like this. This is called a smart controller, SMART. These controllers cost $1,260. And I tried to order one for an entire 5-hour period. I tried to find one and I tried to order one. I got on the phone with Scott Del Fuego. He tried to find one on eBay for me. I tried to find one on Shopee. I tried to find a smart controller on Lazada. I tried to find a smart controller on DJI. That was my last place that I looked. So after 4.5 hours of searching for a smart controller, I figured Lazada or Shopee or eBay would have one. And they do. They have them for $1,260, but they don't ship to the Philippines. You can buy it, put it in a box, and ship it to the Philippines. And this is what I mean about DJI. It's a fraudulent sales. The smart controllers that they don't ship to the Philippines, and thank God they don't, otherwise I would have bought one. And then I would have a smart controller that does not work with the MAVIC Air 2S. In other words, the $1,260 smart controller is not compatible with the MAVIC Air 2S, the MAVIC Air 2, or the MAVIC Mini 2, and many other models. But it doesn't say that. You have to find that information out by going and Googling it. Does the smart controller work with certain model drones? And the reason I searched that is because the phone didn't work. So let me find out if the smart controller doesn't work, which was already a moot point, because when you go to DJI website and put smart controller in, it pops up, the smart controller pops up, but no price. But the only thing that's on the smart controller page of the DJI website is that this controller does not ship to your country or your region, Philippines. So the only option I had is the solution that the technicians at DJI already handed out: buy an iPhone. So I bought an iPhone. So we're going to add $1,500 for the drone license. We're going to add $1,500 for the drone and parts. We're going to add $1,000 for the phone. That's $4,000. And that's if you need the license. Now, there's a cost that some people would say shouldn't count. Yes, it should. Now you have to learn how to fly a drone, which means you have to watch a certain amount of hours of drone instruction videos. I have 60 plus hours of drone instruction videos. 60 plus hours. How to turn it on, where the function buttons are, what the function buttons do, where the icons on the screen are, what they do. The hidden icons behind the icons on the screen for small variations in things like the ISO of the camera aperture opening, whether you're filming at night or in the daytime when in sunlight. Those functions are hidden behind an icon that you have to go to 3 buttons that are to the right of the icon. That's where they are. But then there is the altitude icon, and then there's the horizontal, how far the drone is away from home base. There is a dial that lets you change the position of the gimbal in front of the drone. There's a button on the other side, on the right side. Here is the dial. This is the dial. This changes the position of the gimbal on the drone. And this button changes video to photo mode. And then in photo mode, there's 4 modes of photo mode. You can do time lapse. You can do 4 different modes of photo mode. And then this button also, by combination with something on your phone screen, does 4,000 resolution at 30 frames per second, 4,000 resolution at 60 frames per second, 5,400 frames, 5,400 resolution at 30 frames a second, or 120 frames a second at 1,080 resolution. So those are all icons on your phone screen. So there's a lot to learn. Now, I've watched all the videos several times, and I'm still not ready to put the drone up in the air. I'm close to that, though. In other words, if I was to have my phone in hand right now, I could take the phone out and make it work, but I will watch all of those videos again one more time. So you're not going to learn 27, 28 functions on the screen by watching. Well, nobody puts all 28 functions on the screen. They put 6 or 7 functions, then they make another video. So you need to watch about 6 or 7 videos to watch all the functions by the same uploader. Each one of them will do all the functions, but they cut it up into 10 or 14-minute videos of 5 or 6 different functions. So you got to watch 8, 6, 5 videos to go through all the functions. You're not going to remember it all at once. It's just not going to happen. It takes hours. So you're going to have 100 hours of watching drone instruction videos. How much is your time worth? Got to be worth money, yeah? Got to be worth money. Time is money. Money is time. Got to be worth money. You guys need to remember something. You invest your time into this, it's costing you time away from some other project. And if your time is valuable to you, and let's just say you put a $20 an hour value on your time, which I wouldn't even get out of bed for $20 an hour. But let's say you valued your time at $20 an hour, and you watch 100 hours of video. That's $2,000 in time. Add that to the $4,000 or $3,000 for the cost of the parts, the hardware. You need to add it because it's your time. If you don't think your time is worth anything, well, then your time is not worth anything. That's your choice. Okay, so the sound is gone. The sound is still gone, huh? Nothing wrong with your sound. Thank you, no, Ant Farmer. Must be me then. Okay, no time for anybody. Okay, that's possible. Ant Farmer, see, that's the kind of comment I want to hear. Thank you for telling me there's no sound. Big reprieve there. Thank you. Now, how is Daisy doing? Daisy's doing fine. She'll be here. For all I know, she's on her way. She'll be here today. She wants to keep it a surprise what day she shows up. And so far, it is a surprise because she won't tell me. That's how Daisy is doing. She'll be here any day now. She might be here today. I don't know. No time for anybody. Follow mode is cool. So no time. And Brevis, I see your comment. I'll get to you in a minute. So no time for anybody says that there are then right now. No time for anybody brings up the point of the drone where this drone has obstacle avoidance, vertical, front, back, bottom, no sides. But the drone has the ability, and you will appear in the screen, and then you push a button. The button outlines a person, a bicycle, or a car, or someone walking, running on a skateboard, a hang glider, anything. So you push a button and you're looking at the screen and you see a moving object or a stationary object in the picture. And you push a button and outline that object with a green box and press OK. The drone says, OK, we're going to follow that person. So we'll either follow it from behind or it will follow it backwards. So you could be running forward and the drone will be going backwards. You could be running forward and the drone is behind you. That's the mode that No Time for Anybody is talking about. So the drone will follow you. Now, it will follow you on the side also. Lateral following, but if there are trees around, it won't see the tree unless it's omnidirectional. This is not omnidirectional, therefore, the best way to track somebody is from the front or the back. Now, I also want to tell you something about the camera in this drone. It's got a 1-inch sensor, which means somebody can be standing at one goalpost in a football field, and another person could be standing at the other goalpost in the other at the other side of the football field, and pretty much this sensor will allow the drone to go up and 40 or 50 feet in the air and then zoom in on the person, which is 95 yards away or 100 yards away. It's 100 yards, but we're talking about two people standing in front of the goalposts. I sure don't want to be corrected. It's 100 yards between goalposts, but it will zoom in on somebody's face 100 yards away. This drone, and with the 1-inch sensor. Now, the reason that the MAVIC 3, MAVIC, M-A-V-I-C, MAVIC 3 jumps from $1,500 to $3,000 is because that sensor is made by Hasselblad. That's the best camera in the world, the Hasselblad. Geitz. Yeah, it's a Hasselblad. Well, Geitz would make a better lens. I don't think there's a Geitz lens in the Hasselblad camera, but they make a good camera. So, but you can see somebody's face from 300 feet away with that camera. So you don't have to be close to see somebody's for the drone to follow. You don't have to be close. You don't have to be close to see somebody. You can, if you want to just see what's over there, you can just zoom in and see what's yonder. If you understand what I'm talking about. In other words, you can fly the drone over there, or you could just zoom in with the drone, and it's like a pair of binoculars, basically. And to Batman, talking about zooming in on people, Batman, if you're watching, I love this air conditioning system that you sent me. This is an air conditioning system. Let me tell you how it works, what company it's made from. I would have thought it was a worthless gadget, but it's imperative. It's imperative. I tell you, it's one of the most amazing products I've ever seen. Let me get it back on. It keeps you cool too. It's supposed to keep you cool, and it does. So you can charge it while you're wearing it. It'll run while you're wearing it forever if you have the charging cable in it. And it has 3 speeds. Three speeds, enough to blow air all the way up over your head. So it's made by this company. JISUIFE. Joselife. And it has an air blower in here. So Batman, the fella Batman, the Batman has a tendency to send me stuff every couple of months. He sent me a Batman shirt. I'm Batman. If you're not Batman, that's your problem. Batman sent me a pair of shorts. Batman is one cool dude. I don't know who Batman is, but I know that Batman sends me a lot of stuff. Okay, so the follow mode I went over. Brevis is a man who stopped by the house with his girlfriend, going back 2 months now. And I think we spent a solid hour together out on the beach, which was very nice. Thanks for stopping by, Brevis. And we had a nice conversation. And I showed him around where I lived, and he saw that I live on a beautiful beach. And his girlfriend is Filipina, and she immediately coagulated with the Filipinas on the beach, and they had their conversation. And Brevis and I had a nice conversation. Thanks for stopping by, Brevis. That was nice. Jamie, happy to hear that. Nice, she is back. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, well, I mean, she might not stay back, but she's coming back. I mean, we don't know what the future is, but we have a plan. I've tried to explain this to people. Daisy did not leave under duress. Daisy did not leave. She did not leave because we had a fight. Daisy misses her family. Damn, she's a very family-orientated person. And she hadn't seen her family for several months, and she wanted to go back and visit, and it was her sister's daughter's first birthday. And she was there when her sister gave birth, and she was there for the first 9 months and she was the caregiver or babysitter for the baby, and she wanted to be home for that baby's birthday. And I said, okay, you go back, enjoy your family, come back when you're ready. So she's ready. So that's, but as far as you people, you got to understand something. If I had an argument with Daisy, I would never tell anybody, but I didn't. She wanted to go back and visit the baby that she cared for 9 months. Now, her sister lives next to her mother's house, but Daisy was the babysitter for 9 months and helped the sister out. She wanted to see her first birthday. Then there were 2 more birthdays within the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So she's gone about 2 months, and she'll be back. I don't know. She could knock on the door, for all I know. And she's like that. She likes to surprise me. It's a small thing. She likes to surprise me when she comes back, and I enjoy that about her. I have all kinds of goodies for her. I bought her special chocolate. She likes chocolate. I have chocolate made from real cocoa beans that I showed you the video for 2 months ago of the fella making the chocolate through the grinder. I got her the big giant jar of peanut butter. I got a trail mix peanuts. Got her all her special foods, and we're all ready to go. And then we're gonna go. We're gonna do some traveling. Daisy and I are gonna do some moving around a little bit here and there, and back and forth, and over there and over there. And I'm gonna. We have plans. Daisy and I have some plans. So Daisy's coming back. Thanks, Jamie, for the congratulations. No time for anybody. And it will circle you when you're moving. Okay, so no time is giving us information of what the drone will do. So there are different modes. This is what I was talking about before. There is a window that has the modes that what it will do. So it will follow you from the back. It will go backwards and follow you from the front. Or it will circle around you left, depending on how you set the controls on the controller. There's options. You got to remember there's options on the screen of the phone. So you can set circle left or circle right. And this is the part about operating a drone. There's like 20 moves that you can do with the drone. So I'll go through them for no time. Thanks very much, Flying Circus. Thank you very much. Salamat. Thank you, my friend. So there's about 20 moves. You can follow front, follow back, circle left, circle right. Now, so the moves that I was talking about, you can circle left and right and go up, circle left and right and go down, right and left and go up, right and left and go down, or you can circle left and right and go up and then push the controller down, the camera down on the controller by pushing this dial left or right. And then the camera, as you go up with the drone, the camera will go down. Or you're up and when you go up and you drop the drone down, you can push the camera back up. Or you can go left and right and put the camera up and down. So those are like those really cool videos that you see online that they go around the lighthouse and then they go up and then they're zooming in and they're backing the drone off. They're going up, they're circling left, and they're dropping the camera down. That's controlling the pitch, the yaw, and the height, plus the direction. That's 4 control surfaces that you have to change on the drone. 4 control surfaces. So you can control all those 4 surfaces with the 2 different control sticks, which should be here, but I took them off, and or this dial here for the camera. So there's about 20 standard ways to make a video from the air. That you could circle around it, go up, back off, and turn the camera down, or opposite that, or around and turn the camera down. And that's what takes time to learn how to do that. So that would take, it depends on your eye-hand coordination. That's what it depends on. So let's go here. We will try to come back in early December, says Brevis. Thank you. That'd be nice. That would be nice. By maybe one of our plans will have been fulfilled by then. Yes. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's fairly cool, Daisy. You know, she was here for, I don't know, 3 months, I think. I don't pay attention to that. And in the 3 months, we never had even a single problem. There was never. I get along just fine with Daisy. Some people say, they fight. I never. No, I don't. First of all, I don't fight. I don't argue with women, number one, in general. But number two, Daisy doesn't give me anything to argue about. She's not submissive, but she's just a cool girl. She really is a pretty cool girl. Very smart for a province girl. Very, very, very tuned in to what's going on around her. She's always wanting to do something. She's not lazy. She's a good girl, Daisy. And I hope when she comes back that we can do a couple of things that we both want to do. We'll see what happens. But we don't argue. There's just no argument. You people are mistaken about that. I don't understand why you are, but you are. You got it. Good explanation, says no time for anybody. There's a lot of different. So that's what will take you how long to become a drone pilot. Now, the drone pilot course for the FAA, now that's something else altogether. Those are rules and regulations that the FAA has around, primarily, as no time for anybody explained when he was in Palawan. There is something called the TCA. That would be T as in Tango, C as in Charlie, A as in Alpha. Tango, Charlie, Alpha, TCA. It means terminally controlled area. It's a cone that starts at the base perimeter of the airport plus some, and goes up in a conical nature 10 miles up around Kennedy Airport, LaGuardia, but it goes up 10 miles. So for that 10 miles at the top, the cone might be 10 miles wide. For those 10 miles, you have to have permission to fly in the TCA, or terminal controlled area. So when no time for anybody explained in the comments that the airport called him up and asked him for his phone number, the airport computer said, there's a drone in my area. Let's find out more information about this person. So when the airport computer asked for no time for anybody's phone number, it was to confirm who was flying the drone. Phone number is just like a social security number, but when you get your pilot's license, you have to put in your phone number, and that confirms who you are. Now, of course, anybody could put a phone number in, but if you do that and they send out an FAA policeman, then you're going to lose your license if it's not you flying the drone. In other words, if you try to confuse them or lie to them, you'll lose your license. That's the FAA is a Federal Aviation Administration. They're not going to take kindly to fraud. They'll just pull your license. So at all times, no matter where you're flying your drone is being watched by a computer. Now, most airports in the world don't care that you're flying a drone around the perimeter of the airport. Most airports don't have planes but once or twice a day. Some do. Like So my friend Gorgeous George, his name is Gorgeous George on YouTube. My friend Gorgeous George bought a $2,000 drone and he put it up in the air. And we all lived on the same block when we grew up. And where we live is runway, I think, 29 at Kennedy Airport. I forget the number, 19, 29, something like that. And planes fly over our house. Literally, planes fly over the house at 225 feet high. That's how high the planes are when they land, because the runway's 2,000 feet away. And when they're taking off on a hot day, they're lower than that, even sometimes 175 feet. So Gorgeous George set his drone up, and then when he landed his drone, he bought it, flew it up. When he landed his drone, it said, update your drone. So he pressed update. That takes about 10 minutes. And when he went to fly it again, the FAA shut off the drone. They said, you can't fly in this area. It's TCA. So in other words, he couldn't even start the drone. The drone initiated on the ground, propellers went on, the lights went on, but it wouldn't take off. So the FAA computer took over George's drone or control and didn't allow the drone to fly. So any airport that sees you're flying a drone, and all airports have these controllers now, any airport will have this new computer system. So if you are flying around an airport and your drone is working, then it's okay to fly the drone, probably. If you're flying around an airport, we're talking about flying like a mile away, half a mile away, probably they're not concerned about you. But if they are concerned, the computer will shut your drone down, because it doesn't matter whether or not you have a drone pilot's license or not. You have to register your drone with DJI. DJI then takes that information and gives it to the FAA. They share a database. So whether you have a drone pilot's license or not, whether you're connected to the FAA with any kind of training or not, the computer at the airport, if it doesn't want you to fly a drone, it will just shut it off. It will, if you did fly inside the TCA from outside the TCA, the airport will shut the drone down, or the drone will go back, return to home. I'm not sure how that works, but you're not going to fly a drone around an airport if they have it set up where you can't fly in the TCA. Okay, let me go back to the comments. Thanks, No Time, for telling me I did a good explanation, because, well, I have a little bit of pilot training as well. Brevis, we will come back in December. Thank you. No Time for Anybody says, you got it. Good explanation. No Time for Anybody. If you fly a drone and crash into anything, you are responsible for all costs involved. Yes, that's true. Because it's just like a car. You're responsible for any damages you do. And even more so, if you are flying a drone, a lot of people, and I want to do this myself, a lot of people will want to see close up. It's raining pretty hard here. They'll want to see close up a 600 or 700 or 800 or 900 foot radio tower. You know, the big towers with the guy wires coming down from the tower. A lot of people want to see the top of the tower. They want to go up and look and see the transmitter, because you'll never see that in real life, and it makes for a great circling around, or a drop down or a come up, and it makes for a great video. So the bigger towers have a fence around the towers. Usually there's a man in a building inside the fence, and that man is in control of the power and computer programming for the antenna, and that's 24/7, 365 days a year for the bigger towers. Could be a whole house or wait, I have to shut the window. The bigger towers have a man inside a house on the property of the tower. And what happens is you'll want to fly around that tower. And if you do, there's a fence around the perimeter of the house, like an 8-foot fence with barbed wire at the top. It's usually a government type of a fence with a government barbed wire, 3 layers of barbed wire, and an 8-foot high house, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's getting wet in here. Hold on a minute. So now, if you fly inside, if you fly over the tower and you come down inside the perimeter of the fence, well, on the fence it usually says no trespassing. So theoretically, if your drone crashes because you hit the wire inside the fence, theoretically you're not going to be able to go in there and get the drone back out. So you got to be careful when you're flying around the towers of the wires and also hitting the tower itself. Now, you won't do any damage to the tower, but if your drone crashes inside the fence, technically you'd be trespassing on government property, because it's usually a government controlled tower. So you got to be careful when you're flying. Same thing if you're flying near an airport and the airport has a fence around it and you're flying inside the fence, you can't go get your drone, or you're technically breaking a federal trespassing law. It's up to you, of course, if you want to go try to get your drone. But then you have to, climb over an 8-foot barbed wire fence? Yeah, you got to do that. That's for sure. And then you got to climb over it and get your drone and then climb back. And they might have cameras up. So it's problematic if you're going to go flying a drone inside a restricted area. I wonder what happened. Why can't I could see all the comments? So if somebody has a question about different drones, I could give you some examples, but I tried to give you what's going on with my drone. And so right now, where I'm at right now is, you've heard, there's people on YouTube, no matter how you give them the information, like the fella, whoever that was, that said, I said the word maverick, right? I don't remember saying it. Is it possible I said maverick with an R? It's possible he heard that. It's even possible I said it. But why would I say maverick drone? Because there is no maverick drone. I've never seen a maverick drone. I've seen MAVIC, MAVIC. I've spelled the word MAVIC 500 times in the last 2 weeks doing research for MAVIC 2, MAVIC Mini 2, MAVIC Pro, MAVIC 3, MAVIC Air 2, MAVIC Air 2S, MAVIC Fly More Combo, MAVIC Fly Air 2S Fly More Combo, MAVIC Air 2 with the Fly More. I've never said the word maverick, so I don't know why I would say it. But there's other people that just can't get it through their head when you give them a price for something or give them numbers, because they're not intelligent enough to remember numbers, or they do it intentionally to get you off track. But I heard a guy, we're going to just, this guy is not smart at all. He doesn't have, I would say his IQ was bigger than my shoe size, but not much. Anyway, he said that you can fly, or I bought a phone for $250. Now, if I could turn this computer around, I could show you that my iPhone was 48,750 pesos, whatever that is. It's about $900. But you got to buy a case. That's another $60. It's $1,000 for fun. Why people can't get numbers and names right, which goes to the guy who said I said the word Maverick. I wouldn't say Maverick. I don't know of a Maverick product. Even DNC repeated Maverick 3. There is no... DNC is a wrench. If he can find a Maverick 3 with an RICK link, put it up on my page. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find one. I'm not disrespecting DNC at all, because he knows I like him more than most other people on YouTube. But I don't remember saying Maverick. I don't. But even if I did, what's the big deal? A slip of the tongue. But I wouldn't. I don't think I did. And I'm not going to review the video. So I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to review the comments. I think I'm going to get ready to do something else in a few minutes. Some may take it as attempted sabotage. That's true. Okay. I apologize. It wasn't me that said Maverick. It was you. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's easy enough. You've heard the word Maverick. Maverick, the Western Maverick, the gunfighter, Maverick this, Maverick that. He's a Maverick. Top Gun Maverick. You've heard the word Maverick a million times. But I never heard the word MAVIC, MAVIC, till I found out about drones. Thanks for clearing that up. When you're ready to fly, says no time for anybody. You are going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, you got to remember, you got that beach right behind my house, and clear water. I was out the other day, out and about, and flying circus. Okay, it wasn't me. Okay, thank you. I was out and about the other day, boating, by the way, and which when I leave my house, I do stuff like that. And I was on the boat looking down at the divers in 22 feet of water. You could see the bottom. You could see the outline of the different corals and the divers in 22 feet of water. Well, you can fly your drone over it and see that also. And if there's no waves and the sun is to the back of the drone behind you and the water is calm, you'll be able to reconnoiter the coral reefs as well. So that fella never corrected himself. He said, I said Maverick. I don't really care about that so much anymore. That guy's gone. I don't pay. So this is what a lot of people, I'm so used to people coming to my page and saying, no, I never said ever I was going to buy a $250 phone. First of all, $250 doesn't get you much in the way of a phone. $500 doesn't get you much in the way of a phone. $600 will not get your drone up in the air. It won't do it. You need the iPhone. Say it would work with an iPhone 12, but the problem with the iPhone 12 is, let me explain this to you. The iPhone 12 is This is the iPhone 13. About. Well, no, this is the iPhone 13. This is the size of the iPhone 13. This exact size, 6 1/8 of an inch by. I want to be precise here, so I'll get out my scale that I used to build airplanes with. This is a stainless steel scale from 1973, actually. 74, 75, 76. I want to be exact. It's got to the 64th of an inch, so let's see. It's got a little dirt on it. Oh, yeah, that's much better. Two and yeah, we're going to say 3/4 of an inch. 2 3/4 of an inch wide and 6 1/8 inches long. That's the iPhone 13. But if you go to, and this is the problem with the i12, if you go to the i12 is 1 inch shorter, so it's this much shorter and this much narrower, about roughly. So it's a 1/2 inch narrower, about that much narrower, and 1 inch shorter, which makes the screen that much smaller. So if you're trying to look at all those functionalities on the i12, it's 18% less screen than the i13. So you got to buy the i13, but also the i12 doesn't fly every drone. See, this is what DJI tells you. The i12 is only good for the older drone models. The Air 2S, the i12 will not work on with the newer drones. It's a hit or miss. So you got to buy the i13, and the i13s start. Well, I bought mine for 49,000 pesos, 48 and change, 49,000. The day before, it was 12% higher. I could have pushed the button Saturday night, it would have been 54,000 pesos. But I waited until Sunday morning and I spoke with Scott Del Fuego to go over some prices in America just to compare. And the phone went from 54,000 pesos, I think it was. It went down 12% to 48,700 pesos. So I bought it. It wasn't on sale. It just was reduced. So I bought the 13, not the 13 Pro. The Pro is 74,000 pesos. Now, the iPhone 13 comes in 3 configurations. It's the iPhone 13 with 128 gigs of RAM for 49,000 pesos. We're going to round it off. The iPhone 13 with 256 gigs of RAM is 66,000 pesos. The iPhone 13 with 1 terabyte, with 500 gigs of RAM is 74,000 pesos. And the iPhone 13 with 1 terabyte is 97,000 pesos, $2,000, roughly. Well, I don't need that, so I don't need all that computation ability. I don't even know what you would use it for. But those are the prices. So you're stuck with a minimum of now on Lazada 900, but in the store at Fortress in the ICM Mall, the iPhone 13 with 128 gigs of RAM was 74,000 pesos, because they're charging 20% more than Lazada because they have a brick and mortar store. So I said to them, there was a lot of different computations I did that day. I'm thinking. There was one for 74,000. I said, if you give it to me for 66,000, I'll buy it now. They said no discount, fixed price. I said thank you and walked out of the store. I talked to them, but okay. No time for anybody. You're going to love the view when you're high above the water. The view is amazing. See, now no time for anybody said he went to Palawan. Now Palawan, I don't know what you people know about the Philippines, but there is none, doesn't exist. No prettier place than the outcropping islands of Palawan. It's the strangest, most beautiful place you ever saw in your life. It's the kind of place that, I don't know, people that are stupid wealthy can afford. A small house. See, they have coral outcroppings that come up out of the ocean 200 feet. And to put a small house, like a 1,500 square foot house, will cost you like $2 million to build it, because they got to bring everything there. You have to have a generator. You have to have fuel for the generator. You have to have lots of food stored. You have to have at least a jet ski and at least a boat. You also have to have emergency medical training and emergency medical supplies. Some people have helicopters in case there's an emergency. You have to build a house to withstand 200-mile-an-hour hurricanes. So you have to use hurricane-proof windows and then hurricane-proof storm doors. So a small house is $2 million. But you're on top of a rock coral formation, maybe 50, 60 feet off the ocean, and then you walk down some staircase that they cut into the coral, and then there's a boat, like a dock carved out of the rock where you could bring your boat, but then your boat has to have davits. The davits alone would cost you $25,000 for a small boat, $25,000 US. Then you have to have electric down to the davits. It's a $2 million. But if you were going to fly a drone through that area, occasionally on those outcroppings there's a white sand beach. Like maybe every fourth island has a small white sand beach, 50, 60 feet from the rock and 200 feet wide. And those places where there's a white sand beach, now you're going to pay $4 or $5 million for that same house because it has a white sand beach. So No Time knows what I'm talking about. But Palawan has got to be the prettiest. I've been all over the Philippines. And I mean all over the Philippines. And I have videos of all of that stuff on my old channel. But like people say, well, I'm gonna go visit Bacolod. Yeah, okay. Don't waste your time or your money. Nothing to see in Bacolod unless you want to own a farm. And then there's beautiful mountains and waters and freshwater springs and rivers in Bacolod. But other than that, there's nothing for 100 kilometers. When you get up to Bacolod and you go past Bacolod and to the north and to the, what I think would be the west or east, there's nothing, just mountains. Now, some people want to do that, but you're 50 miles from the ocean, and the city of Bacolod itself, nothing at all. There's a huge, one of the biggest malls in the world in Bacolod City. And then there's a chicken place that boasts the world's #1 roasted chicken, and I ate that. And if I hadn't paid so much money for the chicken that day, I would have probably not ate it. I would have probably gave it to a homeless person. It was twice the price of regular roasted chicken anywhere else, and it was not that good. And I didn't even smoke at the time, so it. I don't know what they. I have no idea. And there's nothing at all to see in Bacolod City. There is the courthouse, which is like 150 years old, of polished coral and marble. Looks like marble from the outside. I didn't get in because it was closed because it was raining. And then there's a library that's old too. I never went in it because it was raining. It was closed down. There's nothing to do in Bacolod City. Nothing except the mall. That's it. Huge, the mall. If you walked around the mall, it would take you 4 days. If you just walked in each store for 2 minutes, it would take you 3 or 4 days to walk through. The supermarket is so far, is so big, you can't see the other side of the supermarket. That's how big the supermarket is. And that's it. Let me go back to the comments. I would never live there. Couldn't give me a house in Bacolod. I'm not a farmer. But no time is right. Power on. No time for anybody. I mentioned that briefly when Gorgeous George, I didn't mention what no time for anybody said, but I'm in my head. When Gorgeous George, my friend, when his drone was told to update, and he updated it, the FAA shut his drone down. But had he chose not to update it, it wouldn't start anyway. It wouldn't fly. So no time is correct. No time for anybody is correct. If you don't update your phone, your drone won't start up, initiate. And if you do update your phone, it'll initiate, but it won't fly. Okay, so yeah, see, I don't no time. I have never, ever, until 3 weeks ago, did I ever look at a drone or how they work, ever. Because I didn't have one, and it was information I didn't need. Now I need the information. But I don't know the history of drones or what phones they use, but thanks for the information. Yeah, he said it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Oh God, I had so many dollars when I moved to the Philippines. And one of the first places I went to, one of the very first places I went to, was to dive 5. I'm not what you call a sport diver. I'm a little bit more enthusiast. I guess you call me an enthusiast sport diver. I don't do shallow dives. I will if there's something to see in shallow water. Shallow dives are 40 feet, 30 feet. I don't do shallow dives. To me, they're boring. I like wreck diving in 25 to 30 meters, 35 meters of water. And wrecks that are intentionally sunk are sunk in 100 feet of water. That's what I like to do. And that's the first thing I look for wherever I go diving, I look for wrecks. And if the wreck is in 70 feet of water, that's where the wreck is. That's what I'll do. But Palawan has 5 Japanese warships. You could Google Jap warships, Jap warship wrecks, Philippines, pop right up. Palawan wreck diving. And that was my first. I was in the Philippines maybe. I moved here March 14th. I moved to Bohol of 2014. And then by August, I moved to Dolho, where I live now. So I was in the Philippines 7 months when I started touring the country. And I did Palawan, proper, all the whole island of, I forget the name of the damn place that I spent so much time in. Let me check this out. Palawan, there's in order to get to Palawan proper, I got to get a map of the Philippines. You got to take you fly. Okay, you fly to Palawan, but you don't fly into Palawan proper so much. Let's see. And what is the name of the town? It's very boring. That's why I don't remember. It's where I met Lucky Lucy, where I spent a month in that part of the Philippines with Lucky Lucy. They want to sell me a print. See, this is it's not what I asked for, Lazada. I don't want to buy a print of Palawan. I want to buy a map. Okay, so let's try this. They want to sell me anyway. Palawan is, what's the name of that? Port-au-Princess. Port-au-Princess is part of Palawan, that area. But in order to get to Palawan proper, where the wrecks are, you got to go to the top of the island of Port-au-Princesa. Port-au-Princesa is like a port where there's a town. It's a boring town. It's a filthy, third-rate, filthy city, Port-au-Princesa. It's nothing there at all. Nothing. Okay? There's nothing but food stores, hotels, a lot of streetwalkers, a lot of vendors, but nothing in Port-au-Princesa. The water there is so dirty you can't go in the water. And you cannot go in the water till you get out of the city of Port-au-Princesa for 20 miles. You can't go in the water. It's that polluted. So you go all the way up to the northern end of Port-au-Princesa, the island. Then you get on a bunker boat, a big bunker boat with 150, 175 people on the bunker boat. And there's goats and pigs and motorcycles, no cars. But it's a wooden bunker boat with pontoons, and that takes 7 hours to get to Palawan. Then you get into Palawan proper. You can't go swimming in the bay of Palawan proper either. And that city, you can't go in the water there. Don't go in the water there. Don't do it. You can't see down 4 inches because that's how dirty the water. But that city has boats that go out to where No Time for Anybody went and did his videos, because there's nothing to see in Palawan City proper at all. Nothing. There's nothing but bars. I don't drink. Discotheques. I don't do it. Lots of restaurants. I can cook myself. And there's a lot of alcohol places and there's the port of Palawan, which can't hang out at night. And well, they couldn't then. It wouldn't be advisable to hang out there at night. In the daytime, it was bad enough, but at night, a lot of people are homeless lived there. So it would be but I lived on an island outside the city of Palawan proper. I lived on an island. My dive boat was about 2 miles away from the city. You had to take a boat, water taxi, to the island I lived on. And then from there, you went out on a boat every day diving for 10 days. And I stayed on the same island every time I went. But just to go to Palawan, It's a very, very overcrowded and very, very, very dirty place. The city, Palawan City proper, and Puerto Princesa proper. El Nino, right. El Nino is where you get on the boat to go to Palawan proper. Okay, this guy's history. Oh, you people with your silly spam. You're gone, dude. So, but there's nothing to see in Palawan. Nothing for me. I mean, if you want to go to Palawan and drink, well, you can drink anywhere. It's like the guy. It's like a guy. It's like the guy. What's the name of that island? Gaytanian Island. Gaytanian. It's either Gaytanian Island or Gaytanian Island. There's a guy that moved to the Philippines. I heard he bought a house on an island called Guy. Why am I thinking Gaytanian? Gaytanian, Guytan, Gaytanian, Gay, Gaytanian Island. He bought a house on Gaytanian Island, and very nice house, by the way. And he's now blogging the Philippines from his bedroom. Fact. And I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know that you were capable of blogging the Philippines from the bedroom. But what the heck is? I think the name of the island is Gaytanian Island. I've been to so many. I've not been to that island yet, but Gaytanian Island. I don't think it's Gaytanian. I think it's Gaytanian. I think it's Gaytanian Island. Anyway, what's the point of moving to the Philippines if you're going to blog the Philippines from your bedroom? What's the point exactly? You can't see anything. You could just talk. I don't know. But to go to Palawan proper. Well, and by the way, first you go to El Nino. First you go to Puerto Princesa. Okay, you need to take a plane into Puerto Princesa. Now, Puerto Princesa, I took a plane into because I was going to Puerto Princesa to see the alligator farm, which I have many videos of. And I was going to meet Lucky Lucy. She was a 40-year-old woman that I had met online. We talked for a long time. Pretty smart. Had her own little sari store. Very pretty. Very pretty. And I went to go to Puerto Princesa to meet Lucky Lucy. That's what I called her, Lucky Lucy. Because she was lucky to meet me online. So I went out, and she was a sweetheart. She spoke perfect English, and she knew her way around Puerto Princesa and the island of Palawan. Oh, she was very nice. And so she would, like when we went to a restaurant, she'd order everything, tell me what it was. Because in that area, the menus weren't even in English back in 2014. She took me to the alligator farm. She made sure that we had a ride there and a ride back, and with the tricycle drivers didn't rape us for the prices. Then we went to a beach where we got a cabana right on the beach, and 50 feet away was the water. It was beautiful. But she was not a swimmer. She was really good in the corner, but she couldn't swim. And when I told her I was going to go to Palawan proper, that was pretty much the end of our vacation, because we had spent about 10 days together. And then I said to her, if you're a scuba diver, I'll take you with. But she was not. I knew she wasn't. But she took me to the underground caves. We did that 2 or 3 times. And we also did the underground caves from above the island with a tour guide. I did that tour 2 times, I believe, but once with her and once with another lady, and did the underground water. I did it twice, but I may have done it 3 times. It's a long time ago, but I did it twice. Pretty sure I just did it twice. But they have monkeys there at the beginning of the underground cave. But Lucy, I went with, and then I went with another lady. But neither one of them were divers. But Lucy was excellent. In the corner, she was excellent. So when I went to Palawan proper by boat, I was on my own. I went, and you could meet a girl in about 5 minutes in any bar, but none of them were divers. So what's the point? I'm going diving tomorrow. I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you want to stay up all night drinking. That's just not my thing. So I would never move to Palawan to drink alcohol, because I could drink alcohol down the block from where I live, or in any bar anywhere in the Philippines. But I would never buy a house to build a beautiful bedroom so I could blog the Philippines from my bedroom. I would not do that. That's borderline insanity. And but apparently that's what you do on Gaytanian Island. Gaytanian. I get this because I would never want to live there, so I don't really pay attention to the name on the map. I think it's Gaytanian Island. Gaytanian. I'm not sure. You guys have to look it up. Let me know what you find out. Google it. So, I never went to a bar in the Philippines either. Outside bars on the beach with a thatched hut open, I went. Now, in about 2 or 3 weeks, I will go into a bar. I know I'm going to go into a bar in 2 or 3 weeks. Big E, he invited me out, Daisy and I, out to Cebu to go to a bar and a nightclub proper in Cebu, and also for drinks, which I don't drink, and maybe dinner. I think probably dinner too. He said a night out. So I'll take him up on that offer, because I've been looking to meet him for a while. But I will have to go in a bar that night. That would be the first time I ever set foot in a place where they sell alcohol and they close the doors behind you. Never have done that in the Philippines ever before. I've never been in a bar where there's a door that closes behind me when I walk in. I just don't like bars. Flying circus. I went to Ratski's for pizza and Drifters for steak. Well, I don't know where that is. No Time, getting late. Thank you, No Time. Thank you very much for your assistance with the live stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. Salamat. Flying Circus says it's in Culver. Maybe you meant Cebu. What's with this Culver? CUL number 8R. Coolator. It's in Coolator? Is that on Gaytanian Island? Are we talking a different language here? Okay, good night. Coolator? Okay. See you later. See you later. Okay. I thought it was a bar on Gaytanian Island, because they got different names there for different things. That's a strange place. People go to Gaytanian Island to buy a house to blog the Philippines from a bedroom on Gaytanian Island. That's crazy. All right. See you later. Hey, I'm not up to speed on all this lingo. But anyway, I'm going to go. Stop raining, and I got some things I want to do outside. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. When I get my iPhone, let me go check on my messages. Should have been a message by 9 o'clock that I'm getting the phone or not getting the phone? No. Flying Circus, I see a spelling error. Maverick, my misspelling. Thanks. It's time to be Flying Circus. That's right, baby. So thank you, Flying Circus. But I did not get my message, and I know what's going to happen. Every time hold on a minute. Every time, like, Daisy will show up, we'll go out for the afternoon, and the Lazada will come. Now, Lazada's had a bad habit last few orders. They don't notify me when the order is coming. I don't know when the order is coming. Or they'll notify you that your order will be here today between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Well, I just don't have the patience to stay home all day. So my phone is not coming today, though. Apparently, it's not coming today, but it could come today because they don't always send out a notice. So I'm going to stick around today anyway. So thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I'm going to say goodbye, and then I'm going to set this up, for the live stream up. Let me get back to let's get over here. Let's go over here. Let's see what we got here. That's 16,000. That's 1,600 for the license. That's a word I looked up. How much does it cost to get an FAA Part 107 drone license? The exam costs $175, but the whole kit and caboodle is about $1,500. MAVIC Pro, we cleared that up. I can't show you that because I don't have a mirror, and that map is not the map I want. So we're going to shut that down. I have a lot of windows open. I asked for a map of Palawan, and it's showing Lazada comes up with a map of Palawan for 450 pesos, $10. See, that's what's going on with Lazada. They got one scam after the other on Lazada, to be honest with you. Okay, so let me go back to my home page here. I keep hitting the buttons on my iPhone 13 Pro. How much did you pay for that, if you don't mind me asking? Because here, the iPhone 13 Pro with 128 gigs is $1,400. That's with 128 gigs. I won't believe it. I believe it. Try me. Well, I don't know what the prices are in America, but I know what they are here for, because we have to pay a 50% import tax, remember. So 50% import tax from China. So I turned in my iPhone 7 and they gave you a 13. Okay. Wow. That's nice. Yeah, that in America they do that stuff with the phones. You sign a 2-year contract, they give you $1,000 phone if you sign a 2-year contract, or maybe a $500 phone. They have those deals. Anyway, I gotta go. It stopped raining, and I got something that I want to do. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for your assistance. And to the trolls that are out there watching, don't come on my channel and try to degrade me or my relationship with Daisy or my knowledge of drones or my knowledge that I try to share with you people. I did a lot of research, a lot, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of pieces of information in the last 3 weeks on drones. I learned all this stuff in 3 weeks. And I don't know everything about drones. I've never even flown a drone. If you asked me if I ever flew a drone, I would say no. Never even have I touched a joystick on a drone. But I will be good at it because I operated heavy equipment my whole life. It's just sticks. It's hand-eye coordination. That's all it is. Not much more. So thanks for watching. I'm being Permy, of course, which means take care always. And hopefully, if things go well, Daisy May will be here in the morning. $100. $100. So you paid $100 for an iPhone 7 and you got an iPhone 13. Very nice. Flying circus. Thank you for the information. Now I'm upset. That's crazy stuff. But the gimmicks they have with the phones nowadays. And you know, the truth is they can build those phones and sell them to you for a couple of $100 and still make money. But, you know, they have the market sewed up with that kind of stuff. All right. Bye-bye for now. I'm being Permy. I keep looking at my phone, which means, of course, take care always. From the Philippines, baby. I'm going to end the stream. What else did I want to say? Take care always. Oh, from Michael Fazio and Daisy May. Soon to be back. Yay, Daisy May. I'm being Permy, which means take care always. Bye-bye for now.